I just realised this is the first time we've actually spoken, isn't it? Like over voice, yeah. So do you want to like introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are?
I'm Kirsten. I'm known on Instagram as KirstySG. I am 3 years post-op having gastric sleeve. I had my plastics a plastic surgery treatment in June this year. I work as a recruiter in the medical device industry. I get married next year. That's a bit about me. I like Guinness. I like Fireball.
I know, I'm always seeing you drinking Guinness on your stories. Does it go down all right then, even though you've had a sleeve? Yeah, that's lucky.
Because although it's like a stout or like a beer or whatever, it's not fizzy. So it's nice. It can be quite heavy. I usually get a bit tipsy after 2, so I'm like, yeah, this is brilliant.
I've had to like completely stop drinking now because the last time I went out, like alcohol, I just go from 0 to 100 so fast. I ended up in a strip club the last time I went out. It's not even just that. I get like really bad depression after drinking for like a good week or so. It takes me to, it's like anxiety. Yeah. So I've just had to like cut it off completely. I got anxiety before my sleeve, but it's like 10 times worse now. So obviously you've had a gastric sleeve. Is weight something you struggled with your whole life?
Like going up through school and like comp, I was quite thin. I'd say I was like a size 10. I remember going out one night and I had a size 6 dress and I squeezed into it and I was like, oh my god, it must be a wrong size. But anyway, I dropped out of college after the first year because I didn't really like it. It was like business admin apprenticeship, so it would just sat at a desk the whole day. Boredom creeps in over lunches, so I'd be like going out having a lunch. Oh, I want some chicken balls to go eat as well, so I'm like having 2 meals and it all just gradually got put on. And then I joined Slimming World.
Oh yeah, I tried that. Oh, I found it really toxic actually.
Did you?
So the group I went to, they went around in a circle. I don't know if they did this at yours, but they asked everyone each week how many pounds they'd lost. So everyone had to say in front of everyone, or if they hadn't lost or if they'd gained. And one person was like, oh, I've only lost £1 this week. And it's just like, only is quite sad to hear, isn't it? Like a loss is a loss. And when the lady said like, oh, I've only lost £1 this week, but my mental health's been really bad, the owner of the group was like, well, did you know it's a fact? Antidepressants don't actually cause weight gain. And like the girl hadn't even said she was on antidepressants to everyone. So if that was something that was told in confidence or an assumption, I didn't like it. And I think that just put me off after that. I just found it really like, people were like feeling guilty if they hadn't lost enough, or like, and then mental health, like when she mentioned the tablets, that just put me straight off.
Yeah, I can't remember if we went around in a group, but I remember going and I think I managed to lose half a stone and that was as much as I lost. But I was chuffed with that at the time because I think I around 12, 13 stone and then I went to like 12 and a half and I was like, oh, I feel skinny as anything, But then me and my mum would go, and we'd get up at like 6 in the morning, go to the very first one. So it was like, we've not ate anything, we're going to be the lightest we weigh. We'd get up like half an hour earlier and try and shit it all out before we stepped on them sales. Every week. And then basically I'd be painted out and try and win that fruit basket, which everyone just puts all the crap in that they don't want, and then I give up.
I found it really weird how they'd say like if you ate a banana it was sin free, but if it was mashed it was sin. I was like, how does that work? Because it mashes in your mouth anyway.
And there's like as much rice and spaghetti or whatever as you want and you'll be fine.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know, it's just I found it really strange.
Did they tell you that like the lockets, if you had a cold or something you had to thin them as well? And it was like, what?
I didn't get told that. No, I obviously didn't go as long as you. Tracking to that extent, I find it quite triggering. Like, I don't know, I just don't want to have to constantly, I think that's why this sleeve was so good for me, because I don't want to have to constantly log every little thing that I eat or drink. I don't even track calories now. I just try and track protein.
Yeah. I was at work yesterday and like we get free food if we're in the office, so that's nice. It's always lovely. And I'll only take a little dessert up for like my 2:30s, I'll eat that. And my manager were like, oh, are you having, because it were a millionaire shortcake, and it weren't that nice, so I had it in 3 bits and I had the last bit. And she was like, are you not like having that? Are you saving calories? I was like, calories don't count, and just shoved it in, and I'm like, well, they don't. I'm
No.
enjoying it. It's not going to make a massive difference.
I think before, like the sleeve, because I had binge eating disorder, I'd constantly like overeat. So if I did have something like that, that would like make me just go off the rails then, and then I'd like continue and I'd eat more and more and more. Whereas now I know that it doesn't take much to fill me. So if I do eat something like that, it's fine. Like I'm not going to go and then eat like 10 packets of crisps or something afterwards. So it really helped me with mine. Did you ever have like emotional eating or anything like that? Or is it mainly just more boredom eating?
I think it was a mixture of both. Like I had my desk job, so the boredom played into it, and then I got in a relationship and gradually put weight on through that, and it was just like the sly digs
About your weight and stuff. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, well, he's in the bin now.
Yes, out the door. As it should be.
So,
You've actually met someone new since your weight loss surgery, haven't you?
yeah. Literally the month we started talking before I had my surgery, so completely open and honest with him. Letting know where I was having it, and then we went on our first proper day a month after. I was still quite a bigger size, so he's gradually seen me just get skinnier, and I'm like, that's fine.
Poor Dan, I was like small when we got together, and he just crashed and he saw me got bigger and bigger and bigger. I got bigger through COVID, then I lost it again, and then I got pregnant, and then I just gained like 10 stone in a year. I've always been up and down throughout my whole life, like my weight sort of yo-yoed, but never to that extent. But he never once like made me feel ugly, or he never made any fat comments or anything like that. So found a good one, and I hope you've got a good one now.
Oh, 100%. I am now, yeah.
Yeah.
Before, when you are in that mental state and you're not happy with yourself, like my ex, he'd sign me up to go running on 10Ks with his mum. Can't even run down the bottom of the street. What you on about?
The only running I do is running late.
Or like just little comments like, oh, if you lost weight, you'd be a supermodel. Well, if you had a face transplant, you might be better, but I don't know. They're not meant for you. And
yeah, 100%. If someone's doing that, they're not for you at all. So with your sleeve, you actually had it in the UK, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Was it tonic?
Yeah, I went with tonic. Yeah. It was really good. Remember inquiring, because one of my friends from school, she'd lost loads of weight, and I started going to the gym. So like 6 months, 6 days a week, getting up before work. I managed to lose half stone in them 6 months, but it was very disheartening. I was like, that's going to take forever to end up losing the weight that I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to be doing it at 10 years at this rate or something.
No, I understand that.
And my friend, she lost loads of weight. She was posting pictures. I was like, how have you done that? And she's like, oh, I've had a gastric sleeve. So I was talking about it, and mum and dad were like, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. I was like, well, I do. I'm going to go for it. And they were just like, just make sure you stay in the UK, because she'd gone over to, I think it was Egypt she went to. I've never been in a hospital before.
Whatever, like never.
I was never put under anaesthesia or anything like that. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll stay in UK. So I think I looked, I don't know if it was Nuffield Health and then tonic as well, but I went with tonic because they're aftercare, and when I spoke to them, they were just mint, and they got me sooner as well. So I'm like, yeah, perfect, get it out.
Do they have like waiting lists, or is it quite quick with private?
I think I inquired in July, and they give me some dates in September, October, November. But my mum and dad were on holiday. We weren't with Charlie at this point. We were just talking. So I was like, well, if I need somebody afterwards, and like I've got Reggie, I've got the dog, I'm like, I can't be picking him up. So I had to wait until November when they were back off holiday. So
yeah, the thought of going through that alone, even if you are in the UK, is scary, especially if you've never had surgery before. Even though it's only laparoscopic, if you've never had any sort of surgical procedure, you don't have a clue like how you're going to be.
Yeah. Well, it was just after COVID. My dad dropped me off because I had my pre-ops the night before and then my surgery the day after. So he dropped me off. He couldn't stay with us, so I was basically in the hospital on my own. But I remember going down on the day of surgery, and I skipped up to bed and jumped on it. And the anaesthetist was like, I've never seen anyone so quick to get on bed. I was like, just get it over and done with. I'm like, I don't wake up, it's fine. I'm not gonna know.
But I actually cried before being put to sleep. Yeah, so like the thought of being put to sleep, I was like, I'm gonna die. I even wrote Esme and Dan a letter just in case. The horror stories were really fresh at that point. I was like, ugh. But I also knew I needed to do it. Like I couldn't have got to where I am now without it. Like I've done dieting my whole life pretty much. And it's like nice to have that freedom, isn't it? Like not having to track everything.
You write in letters, you never know what's going to happen. Everyone thinks it's an easy option. It's not.
No,
like,
it
we're not
isn't.
going to put ourselves under all this, like put ourselves to sleep and have surgery for a trend or whatever people think it is.
The people that think it's easy, I'd love them to have it for a week or something so they could experience what it's actually like.
Right at the start when it's like, you're like, oh my God, what?
Yeah. Even the not eating and drinking together ever again. I think people just think we have this surgery and then like it's gone, but we have to put in the work. Like we could easily undo it all if we wanted to. Like everyone says, it's a tool, like we're using it to our advantage just to help us in that first couple of years. But you're 3 years out now, so I wouldn't say your sleeve is what's keeping you where you are now. That helped you in the beginning, but it's the stuff you've done with your mind that's keeping you the weight you are now, not your sleeve. Get the best results in like the first, is it like year and a half?
Yeah, it's only about 1.5 to 2 years, and then mine's like gradually just like plateaued a bit. I've lost a little bit more recently, but I think that's because I'm just trying to make sure I can lose as much as I can before the wedding.
How long until the wedding now?
April next year.
Oh, that's when I have my revision. Are you planning to have any more plastics or?
Not yet, no. I think they said if we do end up like having kids, then maybe
like in the future after having children. You look great as you are, like in your before and after pictures and stuff, like your underwear shots. The underwear shots, that sounded really like OnlyFans. You wouldn't even notice your loose skin. Obviously when you do that, you probably would, but like just looking straight on at it, you have lost it really well.
Quite a few people like message me saying, oh, have you got loose skin? And I have. And so often I'll put a picture up where it's like, look, I've got my stretch marks here. It is reality. You might not be able to see it on a picture, but it's there.
I think it is important as well, isn't it? Because when people follow you on Instagram, people always compare. And I think that's why it's so important to show like the real side of it as well. Like that's why I used to make videos of me like jiggling my bingo wings and just thought, you know what, they're also like a trophy, show how far I've come and everything. So
I know that in my wedding dress, there's going to be pictures where it'll be like, oh, of Charlie's face, so I'll be there with my arm and my bingo wing will be going down. But I'm like, at the same time, that's who I am. Like Charlie's not bothered about him.
No,
I might be a little bit, but I'm not going to care on day. So
no.
if anyone says anything, I'll flop them out way or
Just fly away.
Yeah.
Charlie, your fiance, was he nervous when you went to Turkey for your plastics?
I don't think so. I've also seen and like done the research and spoke to him a lot.
Yeah.
I thought my recovery should be all right. If not, then we're going to be in the hotel. When like the people who've been out before, they were like, oh, you can walk to here, you can walk to there. So I'm like, right, okay. We are going to try and make a little bit of a holiday out of it.
Because you only had breasts. Obviously, I like had arms, boobs, and tummy. So I like, what was it like just having your boobs? Could you do like normal things?
Yeah. I had my drains out just before they took us to a hotel, so I was drain free. It was like 40-degree heat, that was the only thing, and then I've got all the bandages and they weren't a pool or anything, and the fans were just blowing really warm air. But like, we were going in bars and like having a bottle of water, and then I'm like, oh, we're on holiday, have a bottle of beer.
Yes, you could still feel like you're on holiday because it's not like your tummy or anything like that. I'm guessing the pain wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was real good. I was like, I'll stay out here. I'll have another surgery and so we can stay out here. It was fine.
Results were amazing as well.
I'm still back over here.
You didn't go for an implant either, did you? So they look amazing considering you've got no implant. I didn't want to have an implant if I could help it.
Well, I was thinking, because I was like, if I have them reduced, are they going to be too small? Are they going to... Because I've seen some from different surgeons and to me they still look a bit saggy, and I was like, oh, I didn't really want that. So if I had the implants, will it be like that? And like, my surgeon was like, no, you don't need them.
See, my surgeon told me I needed implants, but I said no. Knew I had enough tissue there. I should have saw that as a red flag. There's so many red flags I should have picked up on, to be honest.
You don't at the time though, do you? 'Cause you're there, you know, you're wanting that done, you're in that mindset, you don't pick up on little things.
Not till after, and then you look back, you're like, oh, why did I? Like, I definitely don't have anything against Turkey or anything like that. There are good companies, but it's companies like Prime Health that are ruining others' reputations. If you ever went back for plastics, would you go back to the same company that you went to?
100%. I'm doing a podcast with them tomorrow to talk about like the aftercare. And they always keep in touch, which is really good. Like, just before we wwent out, there was like a load of hoo-ha. Like, I'm going to get loads of backlash for going out with these now because they're going to think, oh, she's done it free. She's doing this, she's doing that. But I didn't really, which was quite nice. And when I was doing my interview, we made sure, like, look, I'm doing my review on my experience.
If you didn't have a good experience, I'm sure you would have said so. I don't know if you saw or not, but I got quite a bit of backlash because some people in the community worked out who's doing my revision. I haven't announced it anywhere yet just because of what backlash I got. I don't want him to get shit when he's trying to do a good thing. I'm not having it for free either, but they're assuming that. So basically, Kat, that I didn't even know that she did a GoFundMe. She put the target as £2,000, and it even states on there it's a saving pot towards Leah's revision. But because they saw 2,000, they assumed then, oh, that's how much he's charging her. I'm fuming, and they started ranting on their stories and saying that I only shared my journey to get free surgery.
It's such a good community, but sometimes there's some people in it and you think, just fuck off and mind your own business.
But I think it's like that in any community, though. Our community is mostly supportive, but I think any community has those few that are negative. Say now someone I followed and looked up to in the community was botched, and I found out they were getting revision for free. I'd be happy for them. Like, even if it was my surgeon or something that was doing it, I'd be really happy that they're getting fixed. That's the thing with sharing things online. You can't control what people perceive it as, but I still think it's worth it. Like, I've met some of the best people in this community.
Yeah, it is good. It is a good community. There's just some people that spoil it sometimes, isn't there? And you've got some of your ways. It's like a roller coaster, isn't it?
So you're doing this bariatric next year. Are you looking forward to it?
I'm trying not to think about it until after the wedding because I've just got that much on. So I've like set out what I'm going to be doing, like charity fundraising one. So it's nothing extravagant. I'm sure all the other girls are going to smash it. I'm literally selling dog treats. Maybe you should sign up.
Yeah, maybe. The confidence coaching has helped quite a lot of the girls come out of their shell. The thought of like strutting on a catwalk at the moment, that really like, I don't know. I've got sweaty palms just thinking about it.
I'm kind of looking forward to this swimwear one. I don't mean this to be horrible to anyone else because I mean it in a good way, but people are going to be walking around and they're going to have like jiggly bits everywhere. So you're going to feel like, oh yeah, that's fine. We're all in the same thing. So you can walk down and have that confidence. So
I think that's the beautiful thing about like the bariatric pageant. It's not like an ordinary pageant where it's so beauty orientated. Like everyone, no matter what part of their journey they're on, is sort of celebrating each other. And it doesn't seem like toxic mentality or like who has to be the thinnest and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what like normal pageants are like these days, but I know years ago it used to be really like toxic and competitive. But the bariatric pageant seems really like lovely and that everyone just bigs each other up. So I think you'll have a great time doing that.
I did Miss South Yorkshire in 2011.
What was that like?
It was fun. It was eye-opening, but I was the biggest one there and I was a size 12. I remember we were trying on our dresses and she was like, oh, we'll have to get you on the curvy side. So I had this, it was like a horrible orange shiny dress, puff dress, and I was like, I look awful. Everyone else has got these right nice thin ones and a
size 12 is like normal. That's not plus size. You're not going to have that problem with Miss Bariatrics. You say that was 2011. So maybe it's changed. Yeah, I was going to say maybe it's not like that now because I think everyone's evolved and there's a lot more like body positivity now out there. So I hope it's not like that anyway. I'm sure Senna wouldn't be doing it if it was like that. So
yeah, I look forward to it, but I just need to like think about that in the next year.
It's like me with plastics at the moment. I've put it to the back of my mind. Like I'm not even thinking about it because when I do, I feel sick. Like I'm like, oh, I don't even want to. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, and it'll only exist like 2 weeks before. So I'm just trying to keep myself busy. And then when plastics comes around, I'll be like, oh shit, it's next week or something. And then
shit, I've got a plane to get tomorrow.
That is me with anyway though, because with my ADHD, literally, I leave everything to the last second. So that is, I'll probably pack the day of or the night before. That is me. Thank you for coming on. It's your little practice before your TKC one tomorrow.
I think it's like an Instagram live.
People can like, ask questions and like, and you can answer them. Yeah.
If anyone's horrible on it, I'll be like,
I'll just be there like that.
Yeah.
Or true. The beauty of lives is like for example, where I've been freezing and I'm like, oh, what do I say? Because I'm still so new to this. You're only my second guest on here. So with lives, you've got comments to respond to. So like you've always got something to talk about because people will be asking questions.
I'm dreading it. I just know I've got a potty mouth, so I'm going to be like, What the
Just
hell
be
are you on about?
yourself. Like, they follow you on social media, they know who you are, and yeah, so just be yourself. If someone says something negative, you're just like, fuck off.
Yeah. Chat shit, get banged. See ya.
You should have a pint of Guinness in your one hand.
I were going to get one to come on here, and they're like, oh, I've still got my can of Coke, so I'll just have that.
My last one, I had a can of like fizzy drink, and then all you could hear is my stomach go. "Argh." So I thought, I better not this time, and just went for coffee.
Oh my god, I had a coffee last night and I couldn't sleep. I was like, oh.
What, was you up all night?
I don't think I got to bed until about 2:30.
I used to drink like 10 coffees a day, like proper, not decaf, like proper coffee. But I've only been on my ADHD meds just under 2 weeks now, and it's a stimulant. So I have to drink decaf now, but that one that I just had wasn't decaf because I was tired, and I just thought, well, I need it.
It also gives me the shits.
Yeah, I noticed that when I've been drinking decaf, TMI, but I got really constipated the other day. It was like giving birth. And I'd only had decaf for a few days, so I think that's where, like, I was like, yeah, coffee definitely is what helped me before. So I am going to still drink it, just in moderation. Thank you for coming on. It was nice chatting to you properly for the first time.
Thank you for having me on anyway. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed our chats.
Me too. Hopefully our paths will cross one day, like soon.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Miss
Will
Barry,
do.
take care.
I'll see you then.
Yes, you will.
Have fun at the gym. Bye.